fellow Nigerians. My name is Rupert Ojenuwa. I am constrained to make this broadcast to every well-meaning Nigerian because of the many issues our nation has faced, and also because of the very recent issues we have had on the national plane. Whilst I was growing up, I remember very clearly that we used to have cobblers around with us. These cobblers are popularly called shoemakers. Their major occupation was to mend our shoes, was to fix our shoes. But you know, majority of these cobblers were from our sister country, Ghana. Today, if you take a moment to look around, you will discover that the cobblers are gone. But why did they go? They left Nigeria because Ghana is now better than it used to be. They left Nigeria because Ghana is better, the economy is better, and Nigeria is no longer an alternative for Ghana. The truth is, and the question is, when will our own brothers and sisters from America, from Europe, from Asia, from wherever, come back home to Nigeria? When will our brothers who fled our shores because they are searching for greener pastures, because they find that the condition of living in these other countries are far better than Nigeria, when will they be back? When will we have them back with us to contribute to nation building? When would we say that our economy has grown and has gotten better? When would we say, like Malaysia, that unemployment has dropped to 0.4, 0.6%, like it was the case there some years back? Today, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Nigerians, in just 3 years, we have lost more than 9 million jobs. That's a lot. We are not saying that we have created more jobs. We are only saying that we have lost more than 9 million jobs. During the last administration, we had a challenge, and that challenge was that the administration wanted to create more jobs, and we felt like, they had to do more than they were doing so that we could have more jobs. But in 3 years, some of those jobs that our people were gainfully employed in have been lost to the winds. When will Nigeria become what it should be? The question to ask again is, these guys whose jobs have been lost, how will they fend for themselves? How will they live? How will they take care of their family? Why will there not be social vices? Why will there not be kidnapping? Why will there not be robbery? Why will there not be all of these things that we do not want in our society? Yes, we condemn all these vices, but the singular, most potent way of putting a stop to vices is by creating jobs. Creating jobs for our teeming youths. Every year, we find that people go into school, JAMB takes in people, JAMB conduct exam, for potential students, and the university picks them up and takes them through 4 years, 5 years, if there's no strike, and then they are out on the streets without a job. I have had the opportunity to meet people on the streets of Nigeria who are driving, who are riding what is popularly known in Lagos as keke napep, and they are graduates from very renowned universities from across Nigeria. These are the lucky ones, because the not so lucky ones are sitting there in their homes. They don't have anybody to give them any job. There's no form of livelihood, and yet their tummy must ache for food. Where do we want them to get the food from? Nigeria is deteriorating. and it's deteriorating very, very fast. Social amenities are going, and we find today that we have to pay for everything. We have to pay for security, we have to pay for power, we have to pay for education, we have to pay for virtually everything. When you get to the health sector in Nigeria, I had the opportunity once to go to one of the teaching hospitals in Nigeria. Fantastic doctors. Where are the equipment? Where are the equipment to combat diseases? Where are the equipment to take on critical medical interventions? Where are the equipment? The other day we had our president go abroad seeking for medical help. That's good because we need him to be alive. We need him to be well. But it would have been better if that medical help was provided by one of the hospitals in Nigeria. Now, would you take a moment to think about this? What happens to the poor man who has cancer? What happens to the poor man who needs to go through surgery? What happens to the poor man on the street who cannot even afford 5,000 naira to take care of something as simple as malaria? What happens to him? We have to rise up as a nation. We have to rise up as a people, particularly the youth and the young ones around us. It is time to reclaim our nation. We cannot continue this way. In 1960, when our independence was fought and won, not really by ammunition or arm, but by intellect, sheer intellect, by our founding fathers. I am sure they never thought that fast forward to 2018, we are still where we are today. Indeed, Nnamdi Azikiwe, indeed, Obafemi Awolowo, indeed, Ahmadu Bello will be turning in their graves today when they turn back to see the nation they thought really was the giant of Africa. Are we truly the giant of Africa? Are we truly the giant of Africa where government after government power is not taken care of? Small and medium scale enterprises have closed shops. People can no longer vend. If you go around, you find that shop owners can no longer keep up. Even the blue chip companies are struggling to keep up with Nigeria, and we are losing some of them to our neighboring country of Ghana and other countries. Where do you expect these jobs to come from when all these countries are growing? Where do you expect the job to come from where there's no private participation? Where do you expect the job to come from where the ease of doing business in Nigeria is only statistically high, but on the ground we find that the reverse is the case? Where do you expect the jobs to come from where there is no attraction of foreign direct investment into our nation? Where do you expect these jobs to come from? And then in the end, of course, our youths will be termed lazy. Lazy because they are making a demand on a nation. Lazy because they are making a demand on the leadership of a nation to provide social amenities, to provide wherewithal for them to thrive. I bet you anywhere in the world, Nigerians can hold their heads high. Can hold their heads high because they are resilient, can hold their heads high because they can do just about anything. We are a happy people. We are a loving people, and we are a people who think that our tomorrow will be well. Recently, ladies and gentlemen, we see the gale of defections across the board. We'll find people leaving the ruling party APC to the PDP, and from PDP to APC and etc. Well, it's okay to defect, but it will be better if those defections are in the overall interest of Nigeria. We need leaders who will not think about where they are from. We need leaders who will not say, I am a Fulani. We need leaders who will not say, I am Hausa. We need leaders who will not say, I am Igbo. We need leaders who will not say, I am Yoruba. We need leaders who will not say, I am Niger Delta. We need leaders who will say, I am Nigerian. That way, Nigeria will progress. We need leaders who have the intellect, who have the knowledge, who have the wherewithal, who have the capacity, who have the temerity to be able to tackle on the myriads of problems that we have. But then, even if I say that Nigerian problems are myriad, it boils down to one singular problem, and that is leadership. Do you know that government after government, things seems to go worse, as if it goes from bad to worse? When it was Obasanjo's time, we felt, oh, Obasanjo didn't do well. Oh, we get somebody else. When this fellow comes, he will do better. And then it was Yar'Adua's time, and we said, oh no, we think that Obasanjo did better. Then it was Jonathan's time, and we felt like Yar'Adua did better. Now it is Buhari's time, and everybody thinks that Jonathan did better than Buhari. The truth is, something is wrong with our structure. And yet some people say, don't restructure. Yet some people say there shouldn't be state policing. Some people can see, can bear, and can put on their conscience. Nigeria has been killed every day. Even in places of worship, in the churches, in the mosques, in the parks, wherever, Nigerians are not safe anymore. We cannot go out. We cannot worship in peace. We cannot worship with our eyes closed. This calls for an urgent attention. The truth is, the youths have to rise up. And this is a clarion call to all of you youths, everyone, Nigeria youth, wherever you are. Please, I want you to jettison, whether you are Yoruba, Igbo, or whatever. I want you to remember that this is your nation. Nigeria is our nation. And Nigeria is that nation we've got to preserve. And if everybody's hands will be on the table and on the saddle, if we put our heads together, Nigeria will be better. But the question to ask is, which of these youths will be the next Nigerian president? Let me advise every youth today. Let us forget 2019. Please, before you get angry, just listen to what I have to say. 2019 is just next year. 2019 is just 1 year away. And that's why, for example, I salute people like Sowore. I salute people like Fela Durotoye. Wonderful guys who are putting their legs forward to say, yes, I want to rule. I want to lead this nation. I love people like that. And I thank God for their lives. But the truth is, will they function? Nigeria is complex, Nigerians. Youths, Nigeria is complex. Jonathan himself, I am sure, never meant for any Boko Haram upsurge to come up. He tried his best. He did his best. But some people say it was politically inclined. Well, if you look at it, wouldn't you agree that it was politically inclined? Some people were carted away from their schools without the security knowing. Just recently, we had the Dapchi guests go, and when they returned in broad daylight, and nobody told them, what are you doing around here? And nobody caught them, nobody stopped them. Isn't this political? But if we pass Jonathan's era as political, what about Buhari? In all fairness to Buhari, the Fulani X-Men, the Fulanis, I don't think they are brutal. The Fulanis, I have 1 or 2 Fulanis who are my friends. I don't think they are wicked. I don't think they're that barbaric to take somebody's life. They've always been with us in Nigeria. We've always been one happy people. They've always been going from place to place, taking after their cattle. But these so-called Fulani X-Men, I beg to differ, may really not be Fulani X-Men. In any case, our president say they are from Libya. Whether they are from Libya or whether they are from wherever, the truth is they are killing Nigerians, and this must be stopped. I have a few people also who believe that these people are also politically motivated to discredit Buhari. If a Sowore becomes president tomorrow, if a Fela Durotoye becomes president tomorrow, or if a Rupert Ojenuwa, we're talking to you, becomes president tomorrow, what's the telling the next militia group that may be sponsored by people who have their gutters filled with money, who have their soccer ways filled with money, to go around, maim and kill just to discredit a government? Now this is it. I want all youths who are interested in politics to join politics from the bottom up. You must be involved in local government. You must be involved in the state government. You must be involved as special advisors. You must be involved as commissioners. You must be involved as members of House of Rep. You must be involved as senators. Join so that you grow up the ladder. And this is it. In 2019, youths will not vote, should not vote for anybody, whether PDP, whether APC, who cannot deliver. I do not care whether this fellow is Atiku Abubakar. I do not care whether this fellow is Buhari. I do not care whether this fellow is Sule Lamido, whether it's Saraki. These guys can be nice people. I have met one or two of them, fantastic, brilliant Nigerians. But the truth is that whichever or whoever, I beg your pardon, will rule Nigeria in 2019 must sign an MOU before the whole world to include the youths as a substantial part of their cabinet. That way, the youths themselves will be in the succession plan for 2023. I know that if they want, they can disciple with 2019. They can disciple somebody who they think will be able to rule Nigeria well. People who are not above 50, people who are strong and vibrant, people who have held up their eye in their chosen profession, people particularly who have charted their ways through the murky waters of this difficult terrain, even in doing business in Nigeria. People like that should be brought on the saddle. And then, youths, we want every youth to come together and to quiz them. There has to be a panel. There has to be a panel where each and every one of these people will come one after the other to appear, to speak their minds, to talk to us intellectually, to convince us on how they will be able to move our nation forward. I am not talking about bogus promises. I am not talking about somebody telling you that I am going to make Naira equal to $1. I'm not talking about somebody telling you I will make Nigeria America tomorrow without telling you how that will be possible. We need to know how, and that how we must get from them one-on-one. That is why I am reminding you, if you already don't know, there is an initiative called Restore Nigeria Initiative, RNI. This initiative is for all of us youths. It does not belong to any political party. It belongs to the youths of Nigeria. You can sign up, to become a member of RNI. We already have members from across the board, but we want every Nigerian youth and every Nigerian elder who thinks about Nigeria tomorrow to please join and support us, so that we can speak to power, so that we can pick the best of all of the candidates, so that we can look critically in their eyes, so that we can have them answer our questions, so that we can have them commit themselves to writing. Then whichever of these very many people who are already lifting up their hands, indicating their interest to run for president in 2019, whichever of them we find worthy, of intellectual prowess, worthy to take us from where we are to where we ought to be, worthy of including the youth, not by words but by action, not by words but by proof, people who can move our nation to where we want it to be, then we will queue up behind such a fellow, irrespective of the political party affiliation. Whether the fellow is from APC, whether the fellow is from PDP, whether the fellow is from ANPP, we will queue behind them. So this is what we have to do, because in the coming weeks, we are, putting together a national ESCO. We are already working on it. And so I want you to quickly go right now to www.rninigeria.com, www.rninigeria.com. Sign up, fill in your name and all that, and then we'll begin to contact you. There is also a discussion group there where we can talk about anything that has to do with Nigeria. This is our group. It belongs to all of us. And if you want to reach me in any way, all you need to do is to go to @passrop, that's my Twitter handle, @passrop, or you send a mail to passrop@yahoo.com. When I mean passrop, I mean PASRUP@yahoo.com. PASRUP@yahoo.com. Please, I want everyone fairly here to sign up. Let's be counted. 2019 is here, and we have to take Nigeria back from the hands of the people that have struggled it away from us. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. God bless all political parties, and God bless all youths.